Today I'm going to go over the cost of living with a focus on housing, rentals, buying, and overall utilities and HOA fees for Panama City, Panama. I've been getting a lot of requests from Canadians, Americans, and Europeans who are looking to relocate to Panama and other countries. And I'm going to structure this guide a little bit differently than what I've done in the past. Now, I have been in Panama for about 4 years. Over that time, I've seen rental prices definitely increase as I've created some videos on this channel of amazing apartments at a steal of a deal. Well, those steals of a deal aren't available anymore. So what I'm going to do in this guide is compare 2023 to now, which is 2026. And I'm going to go over 3 different areas that are popular for foreigners. They are also different price ranges. That is San Francisco, Costa del Este, and Punta Pacifica. For the sake of this guide, all rentals and buying options are going to be based on a 2-bedroom occupancy. Okay, so starting off with San Francisco. Back in 2023, I was renting an apartment for $800. It was a 2-bedroom and den, wraparound deck. I loved it. I actually did a video right up here. Now, I know I got a steal of a deal at $800. Typically, rents back then were going for about $850, $900 up to about $1,200. Okay, so fast forward to 2026, things have changed a little bit. That same 2-bedroom that was $900 is now $1,050 starting, and it can go all the way up to $1,500 a month. Why are things increasing in Panama City? For the longest time, what was going on was real estate was starting to go up. You're starting to get a lot of newer buildings, great amenities, larger HOA fees. And so the market was filling up with a lot more nicer apartments. So now what you're noticing in 2026, the rental market may look like it's surging. Well, actually, it's just starting to catch up because you've got a lot of really nice buildings at a steal of a deal. And yes, things are increasing, not a whole lot, but it definitely hits your pocketbook. Okay, so now getting into Costa del Este. Costa del Este is known for foreign nationals. It's got a lot of those types of buildings, a lot of newer builds. It's very open, and this is where you're going to find a lot of the sky rises. In 2023, you could easily get into a 2-bedroom for about $1,200, and that went up to about $1,700. Now, why is this place popular? Well, if you're starting a family or you already have an existing family, there is a lot of schools in this area. There's a lot of shopping, cafes, restaurants, and everything that you're going to need. Oh, and I should mention there's a lot of fitness in the area. Basically, it has everything that you're going to need in a small area, so it's perfect for you. Now, fast forward to 2026. That $1,200 has increased to $1,500 and can go all the way up to $2,500 or so. Now, why have you seen that large of an increase in Costa del Este? Well, a lot of the buildings before were modern, and like I said, things are catching up. But there's also a lot of new builds in this area. There's a lot of newer buildings, and newer buildings have newer amenities. A lot of the buildings you find now in Panama City have a ton of amenities. The HOA fees are a little bit higher. It attracts a lot more people because you've got so many amenities within the enclosed building. Or you're gonna find quite a few buildings in one complex. Also, with Costa del Este, because it's foreign nationals, you'll find a lot of turnkey apartments. That means fully furnished with nice furniture and everything you're gonna need. So you can literally come in, stay just like you are back home in Canada, US, or in Europe. Okay, now I'm gonna get into Punta Pacifica. Now, Punta Pacifica is definitely on the higher end of things. This could be Punta Patia, which you see right behind me, Punta Pacifica, and Ocean Reef Islands. Ocean Reef Islands is often kind of brought up in the same conversation as Punta Pacifica. So a 2-bedroom option there would be about $1,200 up to about $2,400 back in 2023. And fast forward to 2026, that $1,200 is now $1,700 and can go all the way up to $3,000, $4,000, or $5,000, depending on obviously the size of your apartment, the amenities, etc., etc. And then if you move into Ocean Reef Islands, I've seen rentals go as high as $10,000 a month. for a large 4 or 5 bedroom villa, amazing security, and everything is brand spanking new. So what makes Punta Pacifica unique? Well, Punta Pacifica has a lot of sky rises, all clustered in a small area. As you can see behind me, that is the Point. I think the Point is about 45 stories. When you go right into Punta Pacifica, you've got Bellagio, you've got Aquilina, you've got the Venetian, and they've got the famous Trump Tower. It kind of looks like a giant taco. I actually stayed in TOC, the Ocean Club. They renamed it, and it's not called Trump Tower anymore. It's not Trump Ocean Club. They just renamed it to the Ocean Club. Wow, how original. That building, when I was living there, had an amazing gym, multiple pools on the 6th or 8th level overlooking the ocean, waking up every morning to sunrises, beautiful amenities, tons of different restaurants. You really didn't even need to leave premises. It also had a casino, a nightclub, and a restaurant on the 66th floor. So as you can see, there's a lot of different amenities when you're looking to rent or buy here in Panama City, obviously depending on the location. And obviously, how big is your apartment? What does your apartment come with? Does it have an ocean view, a city view? There's so many different varying factors that will increase or decrease your rent. And yes, rents are going up right now, but they are still considerably cheaper than when you're comparing it to United States, Canada, and Europe to Panama City. So a quick overview. Back in 2023, San Francisco was about $900 to about $1,200. Fast forward, it's now $1,050 to about $1,500. Costa del Este, back in 2023, started about $1,200 and went up to about $1,700. Now fast forward to 2026, that same apartment is about $1,500 up to about $2,300, $2,500, or $2,700. Now, Punta Pacifica was about $1,200 back in 2023, and that went up to about $1,700. But now that area has really blossomed. Obviously, you can't build too much in Punta Pacifica, but Ocean Reef Islands is just nearing completion, and there's a lot of different developments if you're looking for luxury in that area, because now a rental is about $1,700, can go up to $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, or even up to $10,000, depending on obviously what you want and need. Okay, so now you're here and you're wondering, what are the fees, or what's it going to cost me to live in Panama City? Now, this does not include groceries or anything else. Groceries and everything else is considerably less expensive than what you're going to find in North America or Europe. A 2023 HOA for a standard building was about $100 to $180 a month. A mid-range from about $150 to $250 a month, and a luxury tower about $250 up to about $450 a month. Now fast forward to 2026. The HOA fees are pretty much exactly the same for a standard and mid-range unit. Now, where things drastically change is when you get into luxury. In 2026, that $250 has increased to about $300 and can go all the way up to about $600. Now, why is this happening? Because a lot of those luxury units back in 2023 were just starting construction. Now, a lot of them are starting to near completion, and that means that there's a lot more on the market. And a lot of these buildings come with, like I said, a ton of amenities. Like, to give you an idea, if you live in Ocean Reef Islands, there's 2 islands off the coast of Panama. There is a marina. So if you have a boat slip, perfect. They're building a yacht club. They have a wellness club. They're building Oak Club residences, which is going to have everything you possibly need and so many different amenities just in that building. And it's only meant for Ocean Reef residents. Okay, now I'm going to do a quick overview on buying real estate in these 3 areas, comparing 2023 to 2026. Now, buying a 2-bedroom in San Francisco back in 2023 was between $140,000 and $240,000. Fast forward to 2026, that same 2-bedroom goes for about $240,000 and can go up to about $280,000. In Costa del Este, a 2-bedroom back in 2023 can range anywhere between $220,000 up to about $320,000. Fast forward to 2026, the same one is about $260,000 up to $380,000. And finishing off with Punta Pacifica. In 2023, the 2-bedroom was about 250,000 up to about 450,000. Fast forward to 2026, that same 2-bedroom is about 300,000 up to 550,000 and beyond. Now going into Ocean Reef Islands, I've seen homes go from $1 million, $2 million, $3 million and up from there, obviously depending on how big and how luxurious your space is. Doing an overview of rental buying and why things are getting more expensive. Well, we have a mayor and a president working together, which is a first in a very, very long time. They're doing revitalization projects all over Panama. What used to be a dirt pit underneath a bridge now has beautiful plants and trees underneath it. You'll notice plants and trees being planted all throughout the city. Also, you'll notice infrastructure finally being finished. Back in 2023, I did videos talking about, oh, there's a hole here, there's a hole here. You have to watch where you walk. Those holes are kind of not existent anymore. Areas like Beja Vista are starting to come to life. A lot of parks are starting to look beautified. A lot of streets are starting to look more what you'd find in North America or in Europe. Fast forward 3 years and the city is starting to really take shape. And with everything going on in the world, whether you're in Europe, North America, high taxes or political problems, a ton of people are starting to move down here. So obviously there's a lot of new properties on the market, but there's also a very high demand for those apartments. So if you're one of those people that is coming from Europe or North America and wanting to come down to Panama, whether that's for tax reasons or quality of life, safety, which is awesome, then reach out to me. My contact details are down below. Click the link, fill out the form, and I'm usually in touch with somebody as soon as I get that email, almost right away. What I do is I can introduce you to lawyers, accountants, real estate agencies, or whatever you need in any country in Latin America. So if you like this video, make sure to subscribe, watch my other videos, as I'm creating a lot of content on not only cost of living or retiring in Panama, but also a lot of the different areas so you can experience it from the comfort of your own home.